and welcome back to Show Me St. Louis. Jeff Morris, a former teacher and high school principal, faced his first suicide attempt on October 10th, 1997. Now in 2024, after a long journey battling suicidal thoughts, Morris is hoping to help others. So joining us live with his book, Just Live, is Jeff Morris. Jeff, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me, Mary.
So we were talking a little bit about this book being released. It's Suicide Awareness Month, Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. So why don't we chat about why you first wanted to write this book?
So I've been dealing with mental illness. I was diagnosed as bipolar 2, but even before I was diagnosed, looking back, I've probably been dealing with this since I was in middle school, so over 40 years. And it's taken me a long time to get to a point where I deal with my mental illness in a healthy way. And so I thought I could make a positive out of it and maybe take what I've learned over the last few decades and try to help people maybe do a better job of dealing with what they go through.
Right, so take us through this book. When people pick up this book, what can they expect?
So I'm going to talk, in the book I talk about, like I said, my own experiences, what has helped me manage my mental health. I also talk about facts and myths related to mental illness and suicide prevention, and then how to prevent suicide. The last decade or so I've been teaching suicide prevention in schools and other organizations across the Midwest, and so I want to help others, help people that they're concerned about.
So let's talk about that. Suicide is preventable. That's one of the points of your book, that there is something we could do for this.
Yes. So one of the myths about suicide is that some people think that if a person's made up their mind that they want to die, that you can't stop them, and that's false. You know, suicide's preventable. I'm not saying it's 100% foolproof, but there is an opportunity to help people when they're suicidal.
So what are some of the signs that we can look for in people, or some things we need to know perhaps to help others? So
typically people who are suicidal, they may isolate themselves, they may do things that are risky behavior, noticeable changes in behavior. And what I find that is people, even if they don't know the warning signs, if it's somebody they care about, they can typically tell that something's wrong, and they usually know that the person is either depressed or suicidal. So it's pretty common for people to recognize the warning signs.
So when in doubt, speak up, right?
Yes, that's very important, because people who are suicidal tend to struggle with asking for help, and they may go into a shell. So if you think somebody that you care about is suicidal, what you want to do is go to them and ask them if they're suicidal, and then be a good listener. It's really not as important what you say to somebody as that you get them talking and let them, you know, work through and talk about what they're going through.
Yeah, well, it's beautiful what you're doing here, because a lot of it too is feeling like you are isolated, right?
Exactly.
And so sharing your stories, helping others be like, oh my goodness, like I have struggled with this too. I have felt the same way, which is really powerful.
Yeah, writing the book was actually therapeutic for me, and doing the work I've done with teaching suicide prevention, being open about it. You know, it's a very common conversation that I have with people, so I want other people to, and I think we've gotten better as a society. The stigma, I don't think, is as great as what it once was to have a mental illness, so I think people are getting more comfortable talking about it, but we still got some work to do.
Certainly, certainly so. Well, thank you so much, Jeff, for
Thanks
joining
for having
us
me
today, being here and sharing your story. It is so powerful. We're going to have all that information right there on your screen, and you can reach out to Jeff directly. And then, of course, his book is available on Amazon, as well as it's at Barnes & Noble.